because I was on Twitter today. Of course, it all happens on Twitter. And I just saw all these people kind of freaking out and sharing this Variety article saying that the new Disney film Hercules is going to be inspired by TikTok. So you can see how that kind of set a flame to the world of movie lovers, and people were freaking out. This does not sound like a good thing. Well, where does this come from? Well, this comes from an interview that Joe and Anthony Russo were doing with Variety. And at one point in the interview, Joe Russo is talking about how they are producing Guy Ritchie's Hercules for Disney, the new live action remake that they're doing. And this is what he had to say. Whereas many of Disney's recent live action remakes have been faulted for sticking too closely to the source material, Joe Russo says Hercules will be a little bit more experimental in tone and a little bit more experiential in execution. Russo says the live action Hercules will also be a musical and share the original's unconventional approach. There are questions about how you translate it as a musical, Russo says. Audiences today have been trained by TikTok, right? What is their expectation of what that musical looks like and feels like? That can be a lot of fun and help us push the boundaries a little bit on how you execute a modern musical. And that comes to us from Variety. So on the surface, it kind of looks like Joe Russo is saying that we're looking at TikTok. We're looking at these little short clips of people dancing the music, and how can we put that into a modern musical? And I understand that. I understand why people could take it that way. There's a part of me that thinks he might be joking just a little bit in this quote. But if we're taking it at face value, if we're taking it as he really is taking TikTok seriously of how they're going to do this Hercules modern musical, I don't write it off right away. I think that, like he says in the quote, it being experimental is an interesting idea because people with TikTok, with Instagram Reels, we are getting shorter attention spans, and a lot of musical numbers can go on for 5 minutes, sometimes 10 minutes if you're watching, I don't know, Into the Woods. Well, Into the Woods goes on for an hour and a half. It just never stops. But some people, yeah, they do find that irritating with musicals. They find the music goes on too long. Some people just don't gel with musicals. So is there a way to take those shorter attention spans, have musical sequences that are TikTok size, and still have a good musical movie? Sounds like an interesting experiment to me. Do I necessarily want that? Not really. I think that TikTok is stupid. Sorry, that's probably a hot take, but I don't really go on TikTok. I don't really care. There is another way to look at this quote though, as in maybe they're looking at Hercules, looking at the musical sequences in Hercules, and trying to figure out how they can make it so that it takes off on TikTok. Because we saw that with Encanto, with We Don't Talk About Bruno. That song from that movie just went all over TikTok. So it could be that they're looking at TikTok as a platform to craft their musical numbers and hope that they have a hit that people will just take off with on TikTok. If you ask me, that's not the way to approach a musical. But if they're experimenting with this, who knows? It might be able to work. They might crack the code. I'm not willing to scream the sky is falling yet, like a lot of people on Twitter are. But I can see the concern for this comment. But what do you guys think of this comment? Are you excited for Hercules, the TikTok musical? Comment down below. Let me know all your thoughts and opinions on this, guys. And without further ado, let's take a look at what you guys are saying about this.